630 WPRO and 99.7 FM.
Grab your coat and get your hat.
McCarthy, he's going to be my guest on my TV show this coming weekend, and with one other person, and on the record with Buddy Cianci, and that's broadcast at 7 a.m. Saturdays and Sundays. And Mike McCarthy is with Occupy Providence. I wanted to find out exactly what's going on. You haven't been arrested. Welcome to the show, Mike. How are you today?
Oh, thank you, Mayor. Thank you very much. And we have not been arrested. That is correct.
But I noticed you've been practicing getting arrested. How do you practice getting arrested?
That's interesting. Actually, I didn't attend this particular event that you're referring to, but we were doing formal civil disobedience training, which the purpose of which is to make certain that if anybody intends to, after if we are forcibly evicted via arrest in the park, how to respond to police in a manner that will make sure that no one gets hurt. And that involves a whole number of different behaviors that make certain that the police officers are friends.
You don't resist arrest, right?
Right, exactly. Well, actually, unfortunately, one of the definitions of resistance of arrest, one of the techniques that has been reported used in the past is going limp. Right, exactly.
That's still resisting arrest.
Right. That's one of the things that was discussed, to let people know that just because you see somebody doing it doesn't mean that that's not going to be considered resisting arrest.
What you do to resist arrest is you clutch at your heart, fall down and say, "I'm having a heart attack, take me to the hospital." That's how you resist arrest without them knowing it. See?
That's not something we went over. They
Did they give you that trick?
No, I don't think that was discussed. So, like I said, I wasn't there for this particular event, but I can say that that's not part of the normal program.
About like epilepsy or something like that,
Right.
I mean, that's what. I mean, if you demand to go to the hospital, I guess they're going to take you to the hospital. I don't know. But anyway,
I think they still accompany you there. I don't think that gets you out of the trouble that you're in. I
understand that. But the other thing is that I see that the Providence Police, even though they haven't arrested you, their big brother has been watching you. They have a camera on you.
Is this referring to the thermal camera that they were using?
Yeah.
Yes, I spoke to Commissioner yesterday about this after a report broke in Go Local Prov.
Did he deny it?
No, he didn't deny it. He said simply that there are some safety concerns and that the fire department has a thermal imagery camera they walked through. Actually, the only thing I'm not aware of is what day this was. I think he had said it was the day of the storm, but I have other sources saying it was the day later, which matters a lot because we were the day of the storm. We were sending a lot of people home.
Mike. Not that I'm giving away any state secrets here, but yeah, they got cameras there. Okay.
Oh yeah, no, we got to gather that. Yeah.
Number two, don't be surprised if some of your members of the General Assembly come from police departments from outside the state.
Oh, no, that's something that people have, talked about quite a bit. Like, let's remember that it is their job as authorities responsible
for safety. In other words,
safety.
They probably got beards and play guitars and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Well, right. No, this is something we're pretty aware of.
They're called infiltrators. That's what they're called.
Yeah, no, we're aware of that. Oh, no, definitely.
Okay, all right, I figured you did.
Yeah, no, we're not. We want to respond to everybody in the park as equals and as people. And if there's a police officer who's down there playing a bongo drum, well, we definitely welcome that police officer, one way or the other.
Right, but he's not there really to wear stripes playing the bongo drums. He's there.
Right.
He's there to see if there's any crimes being committed, like drugs or stuff like that.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, it's understandable. I mean, I think the only thing I have in defense of the park and my people and friends in the park is that I keep it as honest and as safe and as legal as possible. And if there are people in the park doing stuff that is illegal, then by all means, it's illegal.
Well, I noticed that there was somebody who ran through the park and did some damage, physical damage. I guess stole some stuff out of tents and then you guys caught him, but you didn't. You had kind of a vigilante kind of a hearing, but you decided to let him go.
Well, actually, you didn't steal anything that I'm aware of. I think this individual hopped out of a car basically he was intoxicated. His buddy dared him to do it, or something to that effect. He hopped out and kind of, he ran through a couple tents and did break and destroy the tents. But then, actually, what ended up happening was he ran towards the food area, which is usually stocked with a bunch of people working, and so they kind of surrounded him. And actually, they didn't vigilante decide to let him go. Actually, the park ranger and the police officers came and apprehended him, and they asked essentially if we wanted to press charges, which is more complicated than normal because we all have to kind of sit back and talk about that, and we chose not to press charges.
Mm-hmm. Okay, plus you had your banner stolen.
That's correct. Actually, we don't know exactly how that happened, but one day we all look up there and say, where's the banner? And now it's not there. So it could have happened. There's guesses as to who or at what time, but unfortunately there's really no way to track that down, and it's time to replace it, I guess.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Need a better one anyway.
All right. So how much longer you got? Are you going to stay there if the cops come and let's say they do? I don't think they're coming, by the way. But
yeah, no, you said it's going to be an escalation, and they're going to let winter take its toll before.
Steve Cascione is going to evict you from Channel 6 meteorologist. That's who's going to evict you.
Yep.
But I don't. But you said that the numbers are wrong because the camera supposedly indicates that there are only 6 or 7 tents that were occupied.
Well, they might not have been wrong depending on the time of night or the time of morning that they came. Only because a lot of us are up throughout the evening for the sake of safety. And a lot of folks are actually sleeping in the day, and even more so many people actually leave and go to work at a certain time. So if I knew exactly what day and time it was, it probably makes sense. And if it was the storm in particular, we sent a lot of people home for safety's sake. So it was, you basically, and a lot of us were up the whole night.
In the winter, when it gets to be 10 below zero, you're going to have to do the same thing. So basically, your camp will break down when there's snow and there's ice and there's winds and all that.
We have lots of plans, buddy, to make sure it gets smaller for safety's sake. We don't need numbers there. What we need are people who can stay safe. So, people who
so
are...
what are you accomplishing? What have you accomplished so far, do you think? You've been there
Well, I think we've had a lot of conversations, and we've certainly been in the media quite a bit and asked people to really reflect on the role that corporations and politicians play with one another.
Well,
a lot of people are pointing to small things like that $5 Bank of America debit thing, but here in the state of Rhode Island, I think the only thing that has changed is the fact that there's a group of people in the park who want to have other people come join them and discuss these things. I think that we've gotten a lot of airplay and had a lot of people discussing these issues, and there's some serious ones on the table, as you know, whether it's pension reform, which is a very nuanced and difficult issue.
What's the Occupy Providence feeling on the bill that's pending before the State House of Representatives and the State Senate?
Is that the one promoted by the Yeah, that's actually a really tough issue for us. We're actually pretty strongly divided on that issue. We have a lot of conversations every night, absolutely. We voted not to support it directly because not all of us agreed to support, not the bill, but to support the protest against the bill. And so individuals action, and I think 25 or 35 people made it up there, I think.
Yeah, see, that's a small number of people.
Right.
Considering the Occupy Providence movement is supposed to be big, but started hundreds of people, supposedly thousands of people.
So there's a lot of people on the periphery, I think.
But I think that's one of the problems that you don't see. The Tea Party, and I don't want to compare you to them, but I will. With the Tea Party, when it says when they were organized to the point where they said they had a focus, they knew exactly what they wanted to do. They wanted to cap the debt. They didn't want to have tax raises, and they expressed themselves at the ballot box. But your group, on the other hand, is a movement, but you're all over the lot. Some of you guys support one thing, others support another. You're not together on a lot of things. So therefore, you don't have the thrust or the momentum to have an effect on the outcome. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Being laser precise is a part of this. That down in Occupy Wall Street, they're way more involved in protesting against the banks and the financiers.
Now, what about these small businesses, Mike, that are being affected in New York? Some of them had to close because of the people.
Well, we talked about the fact that if an individual member wanted to show up and say they're from Occupy Providence, that was an individual's action, and I think 25 or 35 people made it up there, I think.
Yeah, see, that's a small number of people.
Right.
Considering the Occupy Providence movement is supposed to be big, but started hundreds of people, supposedly thousands of people. So
there's a lot of people on the periphery, I think.
But I think that's one of the problems that you don't see. The Tea Party, and I don't want to compare you to them, but I will. With the Tea Party, when it says when they were organized to the point where they said they had a focus, they knew exactly what they wanted to do. They wanted to cap the debt. They didn't want to have tax raises, and they expressed themselves at the ballot box. But your group, on the other hand, is a movement, but you're all over the lot. Some of you guys support one thing, others support another. You're not together on a lot of things. So therefore, you don't have the thrust or the momentum to have an effect on the outcome. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Being laser precise is a part of this. That down in Occupy Wall Street, they're way more involved in protesting against the banks and the financiers.
What about these small businesses, Mike, that are being affected in New York? Some of them had to close because of the people. What do you got to say to them?
Well, I've been physically down there twice, and I will say that, this is the truth, that park has on and off become a mess, and they've had to clean it up, and they've had to battle with the city and the mayor there to make sure that it was safe. And, it is a difficult thing to hear that someone who runs a small business who has nothing to do with these protests and are just trying to make a living like anyone is badly affected by them. I don't like the sound of that, honestly.
All right, I'm going to see you tonight, right?
You got it. We'll be there.
Okay, thank you very much. Mike McCarthy from Occupy Providence. They're rehearsing to get arrested, but that's not going to happen. All right, from the Certified Restoration On-Time Traffic Center, here's your Burger King Regional Traffic with Chuck Hinman in for Brian Miller today. How you doing, Chuck? Hello, Chuck.